So I always start off on kind of like a little brainstorming session where we get them to just think about the jobs that they've held, the passions that they have, the magazines that they read, the any sort of problem that they've had to overcome, whether it's personal or business, anything how-to related, anything that their friends and family ask them about for advice and so forth. And in there is typically a kernel for something that could become an information product for sale. And then, of course, there's, a bigger question of, okay, well, how do I package it up and sell it? And do I charge, do I make it an ebook, or, should I make it an audio program? Should it be a whole blown home study course and so forth? So it's almost like there's the cursory review of info marketing, which is, hey, let's put something out there. Maybe we'll just put together an ebook. Like I'm helping for, as a real world example, about, gosh, how long? 9 years ago, I took a quick little, I had an idea for a workout program for people that sit around on their butts all day long on the computer. And that was called Get Fit While You Sit. And so, actually, sorry, it started off as an idea. So I read on CNN that like traffic was like 200 or 300% worse in the last couple of years. And I'm like, oh, people should have an exercise program while they're in the car. And so I was talking to my personal trainer about it, and he's like, yeah, that would be a bad idea. And, and so I'm like, okay, well, what about, and then we just started talking, and he's like, what about people that are in the office all day and sitting at their computers or whatever, or watching TV? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. And so I literally went out and just wrote a quick little sales letter. And then I told him, I'm like, okay, so figure out some exercises that would fit the bill for what we just wrote here. And so he figured out the content part, and that little ebook, which is a simple way of getting out there and doing stuff, and we sell it on ClickBank, which is one of the marketplaces that kind of handles all the logistics for you, and will handle all the affiliate payments and the credit card processing and so forth. And it's a real good way to kind of dip your toe in the water. So that's been selling for for 9 years straight now. It doesn't make us a fortune, but we don't really sell market it anymore. But it still makes, I don't know, like maybe the last check I got was, I don't know, in the neighborhood of like $100 every 2 weeks or something like that. But it's not much, but after 9 years, it's still pretty interesting. That's one thing. So I've been helping him actually on a brand new program. He's going to take his information for really advanced fitness people. And his last name is Ball, so we're calling it the Big Balls Workout. And so, kind of totally different, but it also is a good segue into what my other point was about the differentiating and having something out there in the marketplace that has a good hook or a good angle. So there's obviously a whole lot of fitness information out there. So you have to pick off your market, and then also come at it from a slightly unique way so that people can immediately get it. So for him, like I said, his last name was Ball. So we instituted the Big Balls Challenge, which is, this workout is so hard that you can't do it, and it kind of plays to these guys' manhood. And throughout the sales presentation, he calls them cupcake and princess, and so it's kind of funny, and kind of plays against their ego, and there's a hall of fame if they can prove that they've actually completed the final advanced version of the Big Balls workout. And so it's got a unique place and a slightly unique hook in the marketplace. And I don't know how it's going to do. We're going to release it in the next couple of weeks, so we'll see. But that's something that I'm always been a big proponent of, is that there has to be a unique aspect or a hook to it. And sorry, my
No,
daughter
no,
just
no.
walked in. So like for my very first product, the one that you mentioned, instant sales letters, that really took off, the unique hook there is, I call it a fish product. And for that, it's essentially, you hear about people saying, well, the old saying, if you hand a man a fish, you feed him for a day, or if you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Well, that's kind of bullshit. Is people want the fish handed to them.
Yeah.
And so that's one way that you can create that hook, and that's what that product did. And we've had a lot of success doing that. Actually, way back, like, so my very first info business was actually selling to cosmetic surgeons, dermatologists, and plastic surgeons. helping them grow their practice. And the very first thing that really took off was I gave them different toolkits for all sorts of procedures. So it had like pre-done ads and postcards and scripts and press releases for liposuction or breast augmentation or sclerotherapy or all sorts of other procedures. And people love that. If you can do that for them, that makes a big difference. So that's one of the hooks and one of the ways that you can kind of create a different information product. And believe it or not, if you probably already have a lot of this stuff on your computer. So if you've been doing anything and you've had success at it, there's a lot of other people out there. You can go back into your same marketplace. So for me, I actually sold medical equipment. So I worked with doctors every single day. So that was kind of my in. But I have other clients who are actual doctors, and they went back and sold to their profession because they've done different distinct things in their business, whether from how they train their staff or how they market their practice or whatever the case is. But to go back in your hard drive and start looking at things that you've got on there, that could be the basis for a kit or an information product, if that makes sense.